Let's kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. Hi, I'm young Rylee. Welcome to Why I Like It, a show where I talk about movies and stuff that I like. Today I'm going to talk about Independence Day. This movie came out in 1996 and has Will Smith, Randy Quaid, Jeff Goldblum, and Bill Pullman as the president. I really like this movie because it has everything you could want in a movie. It's got action, it's got explosions, it's got aliens, comedy, and a great storyline. Will Smith does a great job playing the hero of the story, and I think this was one of the first movies that really launched his career as an action star, which I think is pretty neat. It was also a great movie for Jeff Goldblum. I haven't seen a whole lot of movies with him in it, but other than Jurassic Park, this is really the only other action movie that I can remember right now that I've seen him in, and I thought he did a great job as the scientist. He wasn't really a scientist. As a computer guy. I also really like Randy Quaid's performance in this movie as the crazy, drunk, crop duster dad. It really fits him well, and he's really good at playing those parts. If you remember Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, he played kind of the same type of character. The drunk, obnoxious guy who's really just in there for comedic effect. And I thought he did a great job in Independence Day of playing that same role. This one, he has children, and it's really great in the end when the storyline comes to the pinnacle and he flies up into the middle of the spaceship, sacrificing himself for the betterment of the world. He couldn't fire his missile. It got jammed in his jet, so he had to fly the jet up into the spaceship so it would destroy it. And it was a really cool moment. Bill Pullman does a phenomenal job as the President of the United States. And I know everybody remembers that awesome speech he gives right before they all take off in their jets to go help destroy these aliens. But he does a really good job, and makes a very believable president. And that's just another reason why this movie is top-notch. But getting back to Will Smith, he has a lot of great moments in this movie. There's a part where he shoots the alien spaceship down, but then he got shot as well. So he ejects from the jet and finds the alien spaceship and punches him in the face. And it's just really cool to see him doing something like this. Another reason I think I really like this movie is when I saw it in 1996, there hadn't been a whole lot of alien invasion movies. At least I hadn't seen a whole lot of alien invasion movies. Unlike now where everybody's doing an alien invasion movie and they just seem to be a dime a dozen. You have movies like Battle Los Angeles, District 9, Transformers, which is different, and I'll get to that in a later one. You have Skyline and Cowboys vs. Aliens and the Battleship movie that's going to come out. There just seems to be so many of them nowadays. You have to look back at movies like Independence Day and realize at that time it was one of the better movies because, you know, there hadn't been so many like it. I think another reason this movie appeals to me is because it has aliens in it. They're really cool. I mean, in this movie they're different than you would see them in other movies with tentacles and big heads and stuff. And I guess there are some other movies that have aliens that are similar, but this one has some pretty unique aliens in it. I think aliens are really cool in movies because with aliens you get space, and with space you get the exploration thing. That's why I like other movies that go into space and have aliens and things of the sort, just because it's really entertaining to get yourself out of the world, out of the Earth. And that's what movies are for, really, is so you can escape for a few minutes and go to a different place, have something that may not be realistic. Are aliens real? I don't know. That's not the point. They're entertaining. Some movies have aliens as good guys. This movie has aliens as bad guys. The whole premise of them and plot and the storyline with them in this movie is great. I think a couple of my favorite scenes in this movie are the ones with the explosions. I'm a sucker for a great action explosion. There's two in particular in this movie that I really like. The alien spaceships are over New York City and Washington, D.C. And I know if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Especially the one in New York, where the people are going up to the top of the building because they want to welcome the aliens to Earth. There's even the Elvis girl who believes that Elvis is on one of these ships. And the doors just open up underneath the spaceship, and there's that blue light right over the Empire State Building, which is kind of odd because I don't think it actually lines up with the street. Like they shoot it, it's shot like straight down a street, and you see the Empire State Building. I could be wrong, but I've been to New York, and I think I don't know that it lines up exactly that way. I could be completely wrong. But it's just so amazing, and it gets kind of quiet when it comes out, and then boom, big huge explosion. They shoot their laser beam right down into the Empire State Building. It just starts exploding, and the fireballs keep coming back, and the cars are flying down the street, and everybody's running away. It's just awesome. You don't get much better action than that. The other one I like is when the spaceship's in Washington, D.C., and you see it go right over the top of the White House, and you know they're scrambling inside because they show it. And the president's trying to get his family out, and they're trying to rush to the helicopter, and you don't know what's going to happen. So they're trying to get out, and it goes back to the spaceship, and all of a sudden, boom, it's hit with that big laser beam again, just like that other spaceship. It blows up the White House, and you can see helicopters and things. You know the president gets out okay, because there aren't many movies where the president of the United States dies, especially one that's called Independence Day. In fact, this movie came out on Independence Day. It came out on July 4th of 1996, which is an obvious date for this movie to be released. It's called Independence Day, July 4th, 4th of July. It's cool. If it comes down to it, I just have to say that I really like Independence Day. It's 146 minutes of entertainment, and I don't think that there's a slow part at all in this movie. I think the pacing is perfect. I think they chose the perfect actors for this movie, and the actors do a phenomenal job. It's just an all-around good movie to watch, and I know that I'll be watching it years and years later, probably sharing it with my children, because they need to know the awesomeness that is Independence Day. Okay, they'll live an Independence Day, but they will not have lived an Independence Day until they've watched Independence Day on Independence Day. And that's why I like it. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. I will not be posting videos next week because it's my spring break, and I probably won't have time to shoot anything while I'm traveling. So come back the week after that on Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll have 2 new videos for you.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.